And Deborah, Brenda's foster mother, speaking on behalf of her son, her husband of 25 years, and the rest of their family is now breaking their silence. They didn't say nothing from February the 21st until June the 26th. You loved this boy so much, but you didn't say a word in his defense from February the 21st until June the 26th. You loved this black boy so much, you didn't say nothing to protect or defend him from February the 21st until June the 26th. Now let me read. Let me read. Let me read. It saddens us when things in our schools don't always go right or as planned. Our family is filled with concern for Miss Joanne Nadich, the teacher's aide, and we continue to pray for her swift recovery. Our whole family was horrified by what she endured. Nobody deserves this. We are sincerely sorry for our son's actions. We support the needs of students, educators, and staff to feel secure in their school environment. Sharing Brendan's story, we aim to shed light on who he is to us and how a system has let us all down. How a system has let us all down. How a system has let us all down, resulting in the tragic incident on February the 21st. Brendan, who is now 17 years old, joined our family through foster care when he was just an infant. As a baby, Brendan was quite fussy and he struggled in the school setting from the age of 2. Despite our attempts to enroll him in daycare and public school, the busy and noisy environments proved too overwhelming for him, leading to environmentally induced meltdowns. He was easily upset by flies, stickers, and discarded bandages. He was terrified of things other children enjoyed. However, we found that Brendan thrived in smaller and more structured environments, which is why we chose to homeschool him for the most part. How long did y'all homeschool him without giving him the proper help? How long did y'all homeschool him without giving him the proper help? To ensure that Brendan had opportunities for socialization, we enrolled him in co-op class and introduced him to other homeschoolers. You mean to tell me they kept this boy with all these diagnoses in a White House? What grade did he start going to regular school? We got a problem, brothers and sisters. Don't let me find out they kept this boy locked up. They kept this boy locked up in their house. Lord have mercy. I don't believe this. Brothers and sisters, doesn't this sound like it's made up? Doesn't this sound like it's made up? They kept the boy. How do you keep a post-traumatic stress, autism, ODD, ADHD, anxiety, intellectually disabled kid locked up in your house, homeschool? Y'all never... I wonder, what is his reading skill? What is Brendan's reading level? What is Brendan's math level? What is Brendan's comprehension level? What is Brendan's writing level? I bet you that boy isn't even functional. You know why he had the video game? Do y'all want to know why he had the video game? Brendan had the video game because they let him play video all day in school because they don't teach him anything. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again, brothers and sisters. I think we just figured this case out. His foster parents kept him home all them years, finally turned him over to school when he started growing 6'6" because they said he had a growth spurt. He wasn't always 6'6". He had a late growth spurt. So they kept him home. When he got big, they turned him over into the school. He couldn't read, couldn't write, couldn't count because his white foster parents never taught him. So they put him in a life skills class where they don't teach you nothing. They let him play on the video game to kill time. The teacher aide was having a bad day and her racism came out. The teacher's aide was having a bad day and her racism came out. The teacher's aide was having a bad day and her racism came out. She snatched the game, triggered him, and he whipped her behind. Everybody's guilty except Brendan. Everybody is guilty except Brendan. Everybody is a criminal except Brendan. I need y'all to call Tyler Perry. I need y'all to call Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Rihanna, Magic, LeBron, Puffy, Bob Johnson, Kanye, Tiger, Serena, and tell them Dr. Umar needs 60 grand to go to law school so he can go around the country and fight for our children who are getting charged on school to prison pipeline. This is the school to prison pipeline right here. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. This is the school. Welcome to the school to prison pipeline. Welcome to the school to prison pipeline. Welcome to the school to prison pipeline. Will Smith, can I get 60K? Let's finish the letter, y'all. Let's finish the letter. We chose to homeschool him for the most part. To ensure that Brendan had opportunities for socialization, we enrolled him in co-op class and introduced him to other homeschoolers. We also went camping frequently with other homeschool families and friends, which he loved, all white kids. Did y'all ever bring him around any black kids? Is this another Colin Kaepernick situation? Is this another Colin Kaepernick? Is this another Colin Kaepernick where the foster parents don't understand that the black boy needs to be around some black people because it doesn't seem like he was ever around any black people? Let me continue. Brendan loved to read and frequently studied the dictionary. Really? Did y'all even have a dictionary? Did y'all even make him read? Did y'all even teach him how to read? Brendan loved to read and frequently studied the dictionary. He astounded others with his vocabulary, while at the same time he had difficulty applying his knowledge to real-life situations, as he is a level 3, the most severe on the autism scale. He's a level 3, the most severe on the autism scale, but you never put him in autistic school. You never took him to an autistic school. You locked him in the house. Brendan loves most people. He is a big hugger, hugging everyone he meets. He even hugs strangers like the pizza delivery guy. Once when we were at Walmart, he was so excited by something his white grandmother was buying him that he lifted her up off the ground and swung her around. That made quite the picture. I wasn't sure whether to laugh or be worried about what the image looked like to other shoppers. Why are you worrying about what white folks think about your black son? If your black son is hugging his white foster grandmom, why do you care what the other white people in Walmart are thinking? You know why? Because you're white and you're racist. And that's why you didn't do nothing to save him, because white people want him to go to jail. And since white people want him to go to jail, even though you claim to love him, even though you're the foster mom, you want him to go to jail too. Because at the end of the day, all white people stick together. Let's continue the letter. Let's continue the letter. While Brendan loves people, he has difficulty with friendships because he is fixated on only what interests him. He struggles with being reciprocal, which affects the way people view him, but he has a big heart. As much as he loves food, he always asks to give his food to another homeless person we pass. If we were in a shopping center, he would ask to buy something and then would walk over and give his food to the homeless people. During this time, before the spring of 2017, Brendan was managing in the community by receiving the support he needed through therapy and constant supervision, while under the care of specialists. If he was under the care of specialists, how the hell we end up in this situation? If he was under the care of specialists, who advised you to keep him at home? What specialist advised you to keep him at home? Brendan was diagnosed with autism, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, intermittent explosive disorder, mood dysregulation disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and anxiety. From a young age, Brendan has struggled with hypersensitivity to sound and texture, poor frustration tolerance, poor emotional regulation, rigidity in his thought process, frequent demonstration of magical thinking, causing difficulty with focusing. Often it seemed like he viewed characters in his video games as real people. For example, when he had severe fears of a mural at Tijuana Flats, a restaurant that I love, the mural advertised the restaurant's very hot sauce by showing a boy standing in a fire, looking over his shoulder with tears running down his face. It terrified Brendan, who thought it represented hell. He was similarly terrified of our museum's Disasterville. He wouldn't get near it or near a shark statue. It was as if everything came to life for Brendan. He thought throwing toilet paper at a police officer would make her go away. Even now, Brendan's therapist reports that he has the emotional maturity of a 4 to 6-year-old. If he got the emotional maturity of a 4 to 6-year-old, where is he intellectually? If he has the emotional maturity of a 4 to 6-year-old, where is he intellectually? If he has the emotional immaturity of a 4 to 6-year-old, where is he intellectually? Why is nobody discussing intellectual disability? Why is nobody discussing intellectual disability? You know why nobody's discussing intellectual disability? Because they know if he gets tested, he gets off. If he gets tested, he gets off. If he gets tested through a court-ordered evaluation, they're going to prove he's intellectually incompetent to stand trial, and the charges will sooner or later be dropped. He has no business going to jail. Let's continue. Brendan was first prescribed antipsychotic meds in 2018 to control his heightened aggression during a time that our family was going through tremendous stress. At that time, multiple close family members were experiencing life-threatening conditions, including his grandmother, pictured above, who had pancreatic cancer. Another family member required an emergency craniotomy. So, if the family was going through all this stress, why did y'all decide to stick him in school when the family was going through all this stress? If you was homeschooling a boy, why not homeschool him through the family crisis? Why did y'all send him back to school when he was going through the family crisis? Let's continue. Unfortunately, the medication did little to improve his condition and had onerous side effects. He gained over 100 pounds in 1 year. I'm going to stop. Did y'all hear what I just said? Did y'all hear what his foster mother just said? Did y'all hear what he just... Did y'all hear... I'm going to read it again. Y'all didn't hear me. I'm going to say this again. Unfortunately, the medications did little to improve Brendan's condition and had onerous side effects. He gained over 100 pounds in a year. If your son is starting to gain weight, why didn't you take him back to the psychiatrist and say he can't take these drugs? You need to find something else. You let him gain 100 pounds and you didn't say nothing? You let him gain 100 pounds and you didn't say nothing?